Welcome back. That big story that we are tracking today. Bollywood's mega star Salman Khan is facing the courts today. He's at the Sessions Court that will deliver the verdict in the 2002 hit and run case where one person was killed, 4 people were injured, and Salman is accused at the time of driving the car. He has denied that claim, claiming that his driver Ashok Singh was the one who was driving that car. Remember, the incident happened in 2002, as long as 13 years ago. An SUV running into a bakery shop. The actor facing the charge of culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. Those pictures coming in as Salman came into the court a short while ago. Our correspondents have fanned across those courts. Kamlesh Sutar is there from the gate, at the gate where Salman is coming into the court. Kamlesh, tell us what you're seeing around you and whether the police has made sure that the media and other people are kept out. And there is a large security presence, we are told, right across the court.
Well, Rajiv, yes, as we speak, Salman Khan has just entered the court premise.
Right, go ahead.
Just in a media presence inside the court, Salman, with members.
Okay, we are having trouble, as I said, with the lines there. We're having trouble with the lines. The lines are crackling at the moment. We'll try and get you more because remember there's this large security presence outside that Bandra court where the Salman verdict is to be delivered today. I have 2 top lawyers, Mr. Bhattacharya and Mr. Gaud, who are giving me interesting dimensions of this case. Let me, for a moment also, we'll listen to what Abha Singh, who's been a lawyer who's been taking on Salman in this case, has to say. Will it be rash and negligent driving, as a result of which he could get a sentence maximum of 2 years, or does it become 3042, which is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, which can go up to 10 years? That's the key. And remember, an important point, if the judge decides that the sentence is not more than 3 years, then that sentence can be suspended by the court itself, and Salman can almost immediately apply for bail in this case. So those are the important facts. The sentencing may not take place today. Today, the decision likely to be given by the courts is whether Salman is guilty or not. Sentencing could take place only after arguments on the quantum of sentence are delivered by 2 sides. Ankit Tyagi and Kamlesh Sutar are on ground zero with us. Ankit, I'm told that by about 11:15 we can expect almost an immediate order from the courts. Ankit, if you can hear me? Kamlesh, can you hear me? Am I right in saying that by 11:15 we will know exactly what the judge decides as early as that?
Well, yes, Salman Khan has reached, and the proceedings would begin at around 11:15, and the judge will start reading whether Salman Khan is guilty or not. There's no recording of statement at this point in time, but if at all, there are 2 possibilities that are being talked about. Legal experts say that in case it is in what sections he is found guilty, the further procedure depends on that. As Abha Singh was also pointing out to the fact that there are 2 possibilities, 304A or 3042, and in both cases the court has procedure, whether depending on the verdict, whether he is to be taken into custody immediately. So that procedure would go on for hours in case depending on the decision, and even if in which possibility the entire proceeding will take at least some hours to finish. Salman Khan's family would be with him. He has his battery of lawyers with him, and whether the court decides to announce the judgment today and the quantum of punishment tomorrow, then it might just go on till tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and watch what kind of judgment that the court delivers.
Okay, Mr. Gaud and Mr. Bhattacharya, let's look at it. 13 years. Earlier I asked Mr. Bhattacharya this, Mr. Gaud. 13 years, Sessions Court. I mean, a man will, have to spend the rest of his life fighting the case. Let's assume in the worst case for Salman Khan, he gets convicted today. He then can go and appeal in a higher court. Then it goes to the Supreme Court. He's spent 30 years, 35 years on a hit and run case. So is that normal, or is this specifically because for 10 years you actually fought? Under what charges should the trial begin against Salman Khan? What does that say about our judicial system in this country?
We read in law schools that justice delayed is justice denied. And we see the justice denied. You are talking about one perspective about the Salman Khans having the verdict, but what about the plight of the people who were died?
Yes.
See, ultimately somebody killed some person. Who is responsible? Somebody has to be punished for that. And now who is responsible for this delay? See, more than 10 years, the delaying tactics were resorted by the Salman's lawyers themselves, not by the judicial system. That is also a matter of
So your
fact.
argument is that in a case involving the VIP, because he has expert lawyers like Mr. God and Mr. Bhattacharya, you all have paid very good money to ensure that the case gets delayed. It is an indictment of you and your tribe, Mr. God, that you all will ensure that a case gets delayed, the trial gets delayed by bringing in one hurdle or the other. That's the reality.
I concede that I am the part of the system, but ultimately this is the court which has to see and which has to look into the all perspective and decide it early. So the session court, when the matter reached the session court, it took a few months and the courts decided. But what happened earlier was that due to the sequel of delaying tactics resorted by Salman and his lawyers.
So you believe it was Salman and his lawyers, but let's be clear also. You've got a situation, and this is the unfortunate part of this case. The bodyguard who filed the original FIR, he's actually died of TB because it's been more than a decade. He's not around. Many of the victims, as Mr. God points out, have gone through a tough time over the last decade. Someone died out there, let's be very clear. Whether Salman is convicted or not is completely dependent on evidence. But the fact is that there was an individual who lost his life there. 4 others who were injured. Some of them have been injured grievously because of what happened on that day, that fateful day in September 2002. So clearly there is much to answer for our judicial system. But Mr. Bhattacharya, we can go on blaming Salman's lawyers and say they were deliberately delaying the case. But the courts, couldn't the courts have also fast-tracked it? Said, look, this is the evidence which is provided by the prosecution. This is the evidence by the defense. Let's go ahead and decide on the case.
Rajdeep, I entirely agree with you. It's time that the courts took the bull by the horn. And in any case, let alone in any high-profile case, you see this delaying tactics which is adopted by both sides. I would agree with my learned, distinguished friend that lawyers are fully responsible in these high-profile cases because, there is some kind of interest is there. The more you delay, the more fees you make. But at the same time...
the more you delay, the more... Here is a lawyer being honest. The more you delay, the more fees you make as a lawyer. Go ahead now, Mr. Bhattacharya. I'm glad. That's an honest confession.
That's a fact of
life. That's the reality. But then that suggests a very unequal system. If I am a poor pavement dweller, I do not have the capacity to hire you as a lawyer. So I can't delay the case.
Rajdeep, it's a very cruel system. A person who has no resources to hire a lawyer, he's crushed in the system. But at the same time, Rajdeep, a very, very important player in the whole system is the state, the prosecution agency. You see the machinery in the prosecution agency, it is rusted, to say the least. I mean, I won't say anything adverse.
So it's the investigation which, and you, Mr. God, you've been also calling that into question. The entire investigation, I mean, we'll come to the verdict itself, but you believe the investigation over these last 11 years has left, or 13 years has left much to be desired.
It is disastrous. It is not the investigation. I would say this is a piece of shoddy investigation.
Okay.
So basically, you look at the... from where it commenced.
Okay. I just want, while we discuss the law, there's of course the Bollywood angle as well, which will keep coming up, which gives a completely different perspective. Minty Tejpal, Salman's image in Bollywood is seen as a bit of a Robin Hood. He's the bad man in the eyes of some, but the fact is that he's also seen to be an actor with a heart of gold. He has started an NGO called Being Human. He is known to be extremely charitable in his personal life. Is that angle of Salman one reason why Bollywood seems to have a sense of empathy for Salman Khan in this case? There seems to be a spontaneous empathy for Salman Khan.
Yes, of course, that is part of the reason, Rajdeep. He's a very classy part of a family which, he's made a mistake. The family is now enveloping around him and saying, we'll protect you, we'll look after you. And yeah, you're right. Robin Hood is the right image for Salman Khan. That's the kind of image he has. He's been helping stars, he's been helping directors, producers, and he has a certain no-nonsense air about him. He's not an intellectual like Amir or a charismatic personality like Shah Rukh. Salman has a very real, raw mass appeal which touches people, and which is why they are being so protective about him.
It's interesting you're saying that this raw appeal that Salman Khan has. I remember once going to a small town in Uttar Pradesh, going to a family living in one room. The one thing that they had on their wall was a poster of Salman Khan. And I asked them, why Salman Khan of all? And he said, nahi, wo hamara bhai hai. So the girls in the house also believed that Salman was their bhai. In that sense, he has acquired this image. I know the word bhai in Mumbai means all kinds of things, because there was also Dawood Bhai, as he was called in the 1990s. But Salman has this image of being someone who reaches out to the common man in a way perhaps that no other star does. Am I right in saying that?
He's
Salman
the big brother.
Bhai? Everybody calls him Salman Bhai, right?
You're absolutely right, Razi. That's what he's called. He's called Bhai, yes.
Okay, he's called Bhai.
Universally recognized.
Right, and as I said, Bhai meant something quite different in the 1990s, but in Salman's case, it means something very, very different. Yes, quick word, Mr. God, before I go to our correspondent.
But he fled from the scene of accident. He didn't bother to take the victim to the hospital. That is also one aspect.
Is that something that influences a judgment like this? Is that a factor? Let's be clear. It's about evidence about who drove the car, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's coming down to.
Who drove the car?
Whether he ran away from the scene, does that influence a judge?
There is a proposition laid down by the defense that he was on the other seat. So that means it is an admitted piece that he was there in the car. So what did he do with the victim? See, my point is very basic. What did he do with the victim? If he is that kind of Robin Hood, was he not so courteous to take the injured to the hospital?
Okay. I take your point, but let me come back to the reality on the ground. Ankit, we are talking about Salman Khan's image, his character, his various aspects, but at the end of the day, this is about the law of the land. And I just want to know whether the law of the land, which has moved all too slowly for 13 years, can we expect a quick, swift order today from the court, right at the top at 11 o'clock? Or is there going to be yet another attempt by Salman's lawyers or someone else to have a delay?
Well, what we are hearing, Rajdeep, is that at 11:15, Sessions Judge D.W. Deshpande is going to announce the verdict. He is going to read the operative part, so it's going to be very quick about whether he's guilty or not, and if he's guilty, whether it's 304 Part A or 304 Part B. That is something that will be very interesting, and what we have been told is that right at 11:15, that is going to take place. Just when you were talking and between that audio trouble that we were having, Salman Khan's, both his brothers, Arbaz Khan and Sohail Khan, have moved inside. His sister Arpita also went inside the session court. Baba Siddiqui, a family friend, has also gone inside. And despite police's best efforts and in midst of this entire media, contingent that has come here, there are a few fans of Salman Khan, those who have come. In fact, one of them is a Salman Khan lookalike. I'll try and get him to us. He's right now being, it's because Salman Khan has gone inside. The real Salman Khan not available. So the duplicate Salman Khan is completely being hounded by the media right now, trying to get a soundbite out of him also. But yes, at 11:15, what we are expecting is the verdict. Very importantly, as you were asking me when we lost that audio connect last time, the family of the victims are not here. In fact, although we are not allowed to speak to the witnesses before the order is passed, but what we have been told is the family of the victims are not here. Remember, out of the 4 people, those who were injured, one of them was a prosecution witness. He turned hostile later. He said he saw that Land Cruiser coming onto the pavement, but he didn't see Salman on the driving seat. So out of the total 27 defense witnesses that were, prosecution witnesses, I beg your pardon, that were presented to strengthen their case, 2 of them, the police, the bodyguard of Salman Khan, who later, passed away in the last 13 years, he turned hostile after saying that Salman Khan was drunk and he was driving. He later he was declared a hostile witness, and this witness number 6, who was one of the people, those who were injured in this entire incident. So apart from the hostile witnesses, the trump card that the defense is hoping would be the testimony of the driver, Ashok Singh, who came in very later in this case just a few months back, and he said He was the one who was driving this Toyota Land Cruiser, and the tire burst. The steering wheel jammed, and that resulted in that accident. So as of now, the entire, the verdict, and everybody is only waiting for whether it is 304A or 304B, because if it is 304B, then the maximum punishment is up to 10 years. Salman Khan will be immediately taken into custody, and if the judge decides to give him more than 3 years, then of course it will be difficult. He will have to get the bail from the High Court, and then of course the difficulties for Salman Khan will begin. A lot of fans, Rajdeep, have started converging here. There were some protests also against by a few Sri Lankans, those who are protesting against Salman Khan for him endorsing Rajapaksa during the elections in Sri Lanka. So all sort of drama happening here. But as of now, the entire defense team, the family of Salman Khan and his friends are inside the courtroom waiting for Judge D.W. Deshpande to come out and announce his verdict.
It's interesting, that point which is being made about witnesses turning hostile. We've seen this now in criminal trials. We saw it in the Jessica Lal case also. And eventually it required a media outcry before a verdict was reached, which was true to that case. Is this a problem also with our criminal justice system when it involves powerful people and might involve a pavement dweller? Just the balance of power, can lead to a witness turning hostile. Is this familiar in cases like this?
Rajdeep, it's a very stark reality, particularly in cases where the stakes are high. Because the witness protection, there are two aspects of it. One is the honesty of the witness, number one. The witness is prone to be, influenced. Number two, even those witnesses which are honest, the witness protection concept in our country, in crucial cases, that is not there. So sometimes, witnesses who are clean personally, they also, become so much susceptible to pressures and all, why should I get involved in this, all that, I'll create a lot of enemies, my life will be in danger. So in the criminal justice system, witness is the most important aspect.
So therefore, one of the lessons out of this case will be the Witness Protection Act.
Absolutely.
I mean, this country needs a much more refined Witness Protection Act, one which truly protects the witness. And it's not happened. It didn't happen after the Jessica Lal case, and we don't know whether it will happen after the Salman Khan verdict, whichever the way the verdict goes.
It is not happening. And you see, if you look at who is the complainant, Ashok Singh. He was also a police constable. He made a complaint. His statement was not recorded before magistrate under section 164 CRPC. Otherwise, it would have been a substantive evidence. It took a long time for summoning him, and then for issuance of warrants, and then we saw his untimely death due to tuberculosis, etc. But as a matter of fact, Ashok Singh's statement was not recorded by the police under section 164 CRPC. Had it got recorded, only on the basis of that statement, things could have been much better. Okay. It would have been a substantial piece of evidence.
Okay. Let me take a break at this point. Remember, as I said, 11 o'clock, the judge will come. Judge Deshpande will be coming to his seat, and we expect the verdict at 11:15. A verdict that could have huge repercussions for the Indian film industry, of course, for Salman Khan, and also importantly, for the victims and the judicial process itself. It's a case which has become a test case, many believe, for the VIP culture in this country when it comes to the law, and also whether celebrities will have different rules applying for them. All those questions will be raised today when that verdict comes, whichever way it goes. Let's take a break and then come back with plenty more. Salman verdict is our top story this Wednesday morning on Headlines.